your friend. The story is exciting from start right to the end. So everyone come join the fun. Come on and let's pretend.
Yes, from New York City, it's radio's outstanding children's theater, Let's Pretend, created by Nyla Mack. And here is Uncle Bill Adams to get us started on today's story, The Snow Queen, by Hans Christian Andersen.
Hello, pretenders! Say, how many of you have ever looked at a snowflake real carefully? Well, then you've seen how each and every snowflake is a beautiful pattern. No one of them are ever alike. No two of them are ever alike, but each one has all sorts of little rays and circles inside circles going round and round the center. Well, you know that reminds me of our story today, the Snow Queen. This happens in the story, and that happens. But the one thing at the center of the story is love. You'll see what I mean as the story unfolds. So, Don Madden, will you tell us how we travel to Let's Pretend?
Well, to travel to a wintry story like the Snow Queen, I think we ought to go on a sleigh ride.
That couldn't be better. Take charge, will you, Gwen?
Okay, Uncle Bill. Magical sound men, whisk us a great big sleigh all hung with jingle bells and a fine, fast team of horses to gallop us over the snow. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Okay, pile aboard, everybody. Pull the lap robes up to your chins and let's go.
Once upon a time, in a great city far, far to the north, lived two children who were fast friends. One was a little girl named Gerda. The other was a boy named Kay. And now, as our story begins, snow lies deep over the city, and the children's windows are covered with frost. So Gerda has gone next door to visit Kay and his grandma.
I'm so glad to see you, Gerda. I was afraid maybe you wouldn't come.
Oh, you know I wouldn't miss Grandma's evening story, Kay. I don't care how hard it's snowing. Sometimes when the wind is blowing, the snowflakes sting, just like bees. Oh, when they fly in your eyes, they really hurt.
I like a sliver of the magic mirror itself.
What? What do you mean, Grandma?
What magic mirror, Grandma?
Dear me, I've never told you about the horrible magic mirror and how it gave the Snow Queen her power.
No, Grandma, you haven't.
Oh, tell us now, Grandma.
Well, long, long ago, the imps of the underworld invented a magic mirror, an evil thing that reflected everything in some crooked, ugly, misshapen way.
Oh, how awful.
Yes, it was awful, but the imps loved it. They flew about the world with it, getting happy mortals to look at its terrible reflection. And whoever did look was straightway cross and unhappy.
And the imps liked that?
Oh, they did. They loved making people unhappy. But finally they took their terrible mirror and flew straight up to the sun with it. And the heat of the sun broke the evil mirror into 1,000,000 trillion splinters.
Oh, good.
No, not so good. For all the splinters drifted back down to earth, and the horrid power to make everything seem ugly was in every one of them.
Oh, dear. And then what happened?
What happened still happens. Whenever one of those slivers of the evil mirror blows into anyone's eyes, he's a changed person, hating what he used to love. More than that, he's in the Snow Queen's power. If she finds him, she has only to beckon, and he must follow.
But why?
Because her heart is ice, and always has been. And once anyone is struck by a magic sliver, his heart begins to turn to ice. He must follow the Snow Queen to the ends of the world and never be seen again.
Ooh, such a shivery story, Grandma.
Aye, it is. Time we stopped talking about the cold, cruel things in the world and remembered that love is stronger than any of them.
Stronger even than the Snow Queen?
Of course, Kay. Love could save even the unhappy folks she carries off. It could melt their frozen hearts and bring them safe home. Remember that always. And now, let's sing our evening song.
Oh, yes. That always makes me feel warm and happy.
I'll play for you while you sing.
Softly now the light of day fades upon our sight away. Happy children, Lord, are we. Bless and keep us dear to thee.
Now I must go. Good night, Grandma. Good night, Kay.
Good night, Gerda.
See you tomorrow out in the park, Gerda.
Yes, of course. And don't forget your sled.
Gerda! Oh, there you are.
Hey, those horrid boys back at the corner, they kept throwing snowballs at me. Snowballs with ice in them.
Hey, they've no right doing that, and I'm going to tell them so right now.
But Kay, they'll jump on you.
Let them try. They're just a bunch of... Ow! Oh,
Kay, what happened?
felt like something flew into my eye. It's gone now. Well, what was I going to do?
Why I go scold those big boys?
Scold them? Having a little fun? But why? As a matter of fact, I'd like to have some fun myself once in a while, instead of always playing with a foolish girl.
Kay!
And that's just what I'm going to do right now. Hey, fellows, let me in on the fun.
Hey, what's happened to you? How can you talk like that?
Now, it's easy. What a beautiful white sleigh, with the driver all wrapped in white. Hey, what a ride I'd have if I hooked the back of my sled onto that. Well, why not? The driver's waving to me.
Kay!
Oh, be still, Gerda. Yes, I'm coming, white driver.
Oh, Grandma, is that what happened? Did a bit of the magic mirror fly in Kay's eyes?
Alas, Gerda, you said he changed almost at once. That must be what happened.
And then that white sleigh that came by with the driver all wrapped in white furs. It was the Snow Queen.
Oh, my dear grandson, why should the Snow Queen have carried you away? Now I'll never see you again.
Grandma, please don't cry. You will see Kay again. I'm going to find him.
What? Oh, Gertie, you don't know what you're saying.
I do. You said yourself that love was stronger than the Snow Queen. Well, I love Kay as if he were my own brother. I shall find him wherever he is and bring him back to you.
You're only a child.
That doesn't matter. I'm not afraid. I'll bring him back before the roses bloom, Grandma. I shall start my search today.
Brave little Gerda set forth, her only guide, the love in her heart. She went down to the river and got into a boat at the river's edge, and the current carried her along. Day after day she traveled. And then a big black crow flew down from the sky and lighted on the edge of the boat.
Hello, little girl.
Hello, Black Crow.
Where are you going alone and so far? Aren't you cold? Aren't you hungry?
Oh, I'm very cold and very hungry. But I'm seeking my friend, Black Crow. You fly far and wide. Perhaps you've seen him.
Well, now, tell me what he's like.
He's golden-haired and handsome. So nice and kind, you can see it at a glance. Something terrible happened. A bit of the magic mirror got in his eye, and he went off with the Snow Queen, a tall lady all in white.
Well, now. Perhaps I can help you.
You've seen him and the Snow Queen?
I saw a golden-haired boy and a lady in white this very hour.
What?
Right ahead. No distance at all as the crow flies. Look ahead. Look over on the bank. Right now.
Why, Why, a little boy. He's just Kay's size. Can it be? Kay! Kay! Oh, Kay, it's Gerda. I've come for you, Kay. You're not Kay.
No, I'm afraid not. My name is Edward. This is my mother, Queen Millicent.
But, dear child, please don't cry. Why, you're almost blue with cold and you look exhausted. Come, let us take you into the castle where you can get warm and rested and have something to eat.
Oh, you're so kind, but I mustn't stop. I'm searching for my little friend Kay. I must look further.
Dear me, what a loyal friend you are to search like this for a lost playmate.
Only love can save him. That's what Grandma said. Only love can dissolve the splinter of the magic mirror that's turning his heart to ice.
Oh, that's what's happened. And he's gone with the Snow Queen. But the Snow Queen lives many miles from here. It would take days to reach the Palace of Ice. And even if you did, the Snow Queen is cold and cruel.
She might freeze you.
Oh, I don't care. I must go on.
Well, then, there's nothing to do but help you all we can. Come, into the castle to get warm and rested. And then my son and I will fit out a fine sleigh for you with 2 of our best horses. And I'll send along my most trusted guard to drive you, too. For there are robbers in the forest along the way.
Oh, if I find Kay, it will be thanks to you.
No, it will be thanks to your own loving heart.
The kind queen kept her promises, and soon Gerda was flying along the snowy roads northward in a great golden sleigh. But alas, there were robbers in the forest. As night falls, a fierce-looking fellow races up to a campfire where a rough-looking woman and her little girl are cooking supper.
Oh, wife, listen to this.
Be careful, fool. You're frightening the reindeer.
Oh, who cares about the reindeer? We're not going to need a reindeer to haul our tents much longer.
Father, what is it? What's happened?
A fine sleigh is headed this way.
What?
No one in it but a little girl and the driver. But what furs? What packages? It must be food.
Can we take it?
Shh, listen. Here it comes now. Of course we can take it. You on one side of the road, Arthur.
Right.
I on the other with my dagger. And Gypsy,
Yes, Father?
you'll run out ahead of the horses.
Yes. The driver will be afraid of running over me, and he'll stop.
That's right. You'll grab the horses, Arthur.
Yes.
I'll take care of the driver and the young passenger. Here they come. Hurry!
And now, before we go on with the second act of The Snow Queen, here's Jim Campbell with a reminder for you.
Yes, pretenders, and the reminder isn't that a big holiday is on its way. You know that. I just want to remind you that during a holiday season, it's a good idea to be extra careful when you're crossing streets or walking along a highway. Roads are covered with snow and ice in many parts of the country, and cars may go out of control. Sometimes drivers are careless during vacation seasons. You just see to it you don't get hurt by someone else's carelessness or someone's skidding car. But now, back to our story of the Snow Queen and Uncle Bill Adams.
Kay, Gerda's lifelong playmate, was struck by a splinter of the magic mirror and carried off by the Snow Queen. Gerda has gone to look for him. But now a robber, his wicked wife and daughter, have waylaid the sleigh which a kind friend gave to Gerda for the journey. The robber's daughter runs out into the road.
Stop! Driver, that child! Stop the sleigh!
Whoa! And I've got you. No use to struggle, fella. Let me go.
Robbers!
There, that does for him. Grab the child, Arthur.
Finish her off, too?
Not right now. Take her to the tent. Let Gypsy guard her. Then come back and help me collect this loot. Ah, what fun.
Come along, you.
Please, you're hurting me. Where are you taking
Come
me?
along and don't ask questions. Gypsy!
Yes, here I am. Oh, look at that fur coat and her muff. I want them.
All right. Here we are at the tent. Now, you see that she stays here. You have your knife, haven't you?
Of course I have my knife. see it glint in the firelight, girl.
Let's go help Santos with the treasure.
Please, little girl, there's no need to point the knife at me. If you want my coat or my muff, you shall have them. Here.
Well, aren't you going to scream and cry?
All I could cry about is the poor driver. And Kay, when will I find him now?
Kay? Who's Kay?
My friend, the Snow Queen carried him off after he got a splinter of the magic mirror in his eye.
The Snow Queen? Oh, be quiet, Bach. That dratted reindeer is always interrupting. Well, what is it, Bach?
The Snow Queen. The Snow Queen.
Why, the reindeer speaks.
Yes, of course he speaks. But I never heard him speak to anybody but us before. He must like you, girl.
My name is Gerda. But, do you suppose the reindeer knows where the Snow Queen lives?
Of course I know. Far off in Lapland.
In Lapland. Oh, reindeer, could you carry me there?
Hey, now, wait a minute. You're my prisoner, Gerda, and that's our reindeer.
I have a necklace that Queen Millicent gave me. It's yours, gypsy girl, if you'll let me go free to look for Kay again.
You must want to find him a lot.
Oh, I do. Your father has the horses now. Does he really need the reindeer?
Let me take her to the Snow Queen, gypsy. I know the way. I want to see my home in the north again.
Well, for goodness sake. And the funny thing is this, Gerda. I really want to keep you here. But yet I can tell I'm going to let you go.
Gypsy.
It must be your eyes. They're so kind-like. Well, all right. If you're going, you'd better be quick before my parents come back.
Oh, yes. And I'll always remember you for your kindness.
Here, get up on Buck's back quickly.
I'll carry you with the speed of the wind.
Yes. To the Snow Queen to find Kay. Goodbye, gypsy girl.
Goodbye. I hope you find him, Gerda.
And so Gerda set off on the reindeer's back. Through the dark and snowy night. Across the wastes of Finland they galloped. On to Lapland. And meanwhile, in the great palace of ice, the Snow Queen sits on her throne. And nearby sits Kay, moving small blocks of ice about on the icy floor.
Oh, Snow Queen, it's no use. I can't do it.
What's the matter, Kay?
I've worked with these ice blocks, and I can make all sorts of patterns, but I can't spell out the word you said I had to spell.
You can't make the blocks spell love.
No, it's very strange. I'm sure I used to know how to spell it.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you did. And if you can spell it again here, why, the whole world will be yours, Kay, as well as a new pair of skates.
The whole world? And a new pair of skates? If I can spell love, why can't I? Who used to speak of love? My grand...
Yes, Kay.
I can't remember. It was someone.
Can't remember. Excellent. Soon you will not try. Then you will be all cold and hard and icy, like me.
I will?
Oh, yes. But till that happens, keep playing with the blocks if you want to. Now I must be off to coat the mountaintops with more snow. Goodbye, Kay. For a little while.
Love. Really, it's such a curious word. How can I spell it?
Kay. Oh, Kay, it is you.
What? Who calls me? Where are you?
At the window, Kay. Oh, Box, stand still while I climb through. Oh, it's all ice. Oh, but, Kay, dear, here I am at last.
Who are you?
Kay, don't you know me? It's Gerda.
Gerda? Gerda who? I never saw you before.
Saints in heaven, help me. Kay, dear friend, don't you remember Grandma? She's waiting at home by the fire crying for you. Oh, come, let's go home to her.
This is my home. This room of ice is where I belong.
Oh, Kay, no. No. I can't be too late. Your heart can't be all icy.
Why, How funny. There are icicles melting on your face.
Those are tears, Kay. Tears because I... Wait. Or good night, him. Perhaps that will melt the splinter of the magic mirror and help you remember. Listen, Kay. Softly now the light of day.
Hey, look. Look, whoever you are. The ice blocks.
Fades upon our sight away.
All by themselves. They spelled it out. L-O-V-E. Love.
Happy children, Lord, are we.
I remember now. You are Gerda, my little friend Gerda.
Bless and keep you dear to me.
Gerda, it's you.
Oh, at last, oh dear God in heaven, I thank thee. Kay remembers. Kay, you remember Grandma, too?
Oh, yes, where is she?
At home waiting for us. Buck, Kay remembers. Now we can take him home.
Bring him here, Gerda. I will take you both home.
Oh, come, Kay. Grandma's waiting. Sing our song with me as we go. Happy children, Lord, are we. Bless and keep us dear to
And that's the famous Hans Christian Andersen story of the Snow Queen. The pretenders for today were Gerda,
Lynn Thatcher,
Kay,
Charles Taylor,
Grandma,
Amy Siddell,
the Crow,
Arthur Anderson.
the Queen,
Sybil Trent,
the Robber,
Donald Madden.
his wife,
Miriam Wolfe,
his daughter,
Gwen Davies.
the Reindeer,
Robert Morea.
and the Snow Queen.
Daisy Alden.
The original music was composed and conducted by Maurice Brown. Let's Pretend is directed by Gene Height and written for radio by Johanna Johnston. Let's Pretend comes to you from New York City. And remember, if you live nearby or come visiting, you're always welcome at a broadcast. Get free tickets by writing CBS Radio, New York City. And say, next week, with a certain holiday right around the corner, guess what's coming? Yes, it's the story that makes Christmas official. Your favorite every year, The Night Before Christmas. Next week. See you then. And now, here's Jim Campbell again.
Oh, yes, Pretenders. Don't forget there are a couple of funny men named Amos and Andy who can make you laugh like anything if you're listening to their program. Heard every Sunday over most of these same CBS radio stations. Every week, poor, blundering Andy seems to get mixed up in some new trouble that Amos and the rest of his friends has to help him out of. So, get in on the fun tomorrow and hear Amos and Andy. Bing Crosby's here every Sunday evening on the CBS Radio Network.